Um, all right. Echo. What's up, man? Yo, so you're gonna stream the yeah, I'm doing it now.
Right?
Oh, so if you want to tune in, go ahead. Yeah. Oh, it just started to.
Contact with Visegrad Relay was lost last night. All signals flatlined at 2600 hours. I responded with trooper fire teams, which have since been declared MIA.
And now you're sending us.
The Office of Naval Intelligence believes deployment of a Spartan team is a gross misallocation of valuable resources. I disagree.
Commander.
So that's our new number 6.
Kat, you read her file?
Only the parts that weren't covered in black ink.
You, the helmet.
Anyone claim responsibility, sir?
Oni thinks it might be the local insurrection. 5 months ago, they pulled a similar job on Harmony. Hit a relay to take out our eyes and ears, then stole 2 freighters from dry dock. That cannot happen here. Reach is too damn important. I want that relay back online, Noble One.
Sir, consider it done.
Then I'll see you on the other side. Holland out.
Lieutenant.
Commander, sir.
I'm Carter, Noble Team's leader. That's Kat, Noble 2, Emil and George 4 and 5. You're riding with me, Noble 6. Not gonna lie to you, Lieutenant. You're stepping into some shoes the rest of the squad would rather leave unfilled. Me, I'm just happy to have Noble back up to full strength. Just one thing, I've seen your file, even the parts the Oni sensors didn't want me to. I'm glad to have your skill set. but we're a team. That lone wolf stuff stays behind. Clear?
Got it, sir.
Welcome to Reach.
Puede que intenten derribarte, así que mantén la distancia.
Sí, señor.
Concentrémonos. Vigilen sus sectores.
Oh, is
Ahí está la
the
estación
run
de
gonna be like
comunicaciones.
half Spanish,
Yes.
half English?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The levels that were done, in Spanish or Pedro,
Podrían ser los
and
soldados
there's
desaparecidos.
nothing you
Vayamos a
can
ver.
really do about it.
Yeah, makes
So-
sense.
Déjanos en el
And it's
peñasco.
kind of cool in a way that it's easier to see who's done which levels.
Yeah. And or if that's not obvious
John, mantén
already,
la vista
then
fija en el cielo.
the
Señor,
Yeah.
armor itself. But my armor was in the
Vamos,
cutscene,
seis.
so
Bien, equipo
Yeah.
Noble, dispérsense. Cuidado al aproximarse.
but Pedro is the other Reach runner that runs this game. He did the beginning of winter, Nightfall,
Recibido. Estén atentos.
Exodus, New Alexandria, and I think
Tengo la
POA.
baliza.
Yeah, POA. I did
¿Alguna
the end of
identificación?
winter, Oni, Tip of the Spear,
¿Y dónde están los
On That of
soldados? Líder
Solace,
Noble,
and
veo patrones
Package.
térmicos en la estructura de adelante.
It's kind of weird, seeing the language change mid-level.
Yeah. What he just did there was a barrier skip. Normally you take time to just set it up, but he just went full yellow.
John, ¿ves algo?
And this
Yeah,
huge trigger
it's-
that he just hits right here is a huge load trigger that spawns in the spirit. He's gonna use later to go out of bounds with.
Jefe, movimiento fuera
And
de su
the reason why he
estructura.
goes over the stairs is to trigger the Falcon that doesn't have June in it. And you don't notice here, but apparently this is bad RNG due to the fact that the grunt that was shooting a needler, he had a needler, but he needed a plasma pistol, so he got one from the skirmisher that he spawned them in.
Yeah, the parkour part was just really cool because we tried that in co-op a lot. Failed miserably, but Pedro just YOLO'd it.
As you can see right there, that's the first ever spirit that pushes you out of bounds. It tries to get you out or get away from you, but you're just like stuck in there until you get pushed out of the Elixir barrier.
Noble 3, solicito transporte aéreo.
I didn't realize how close the relay station was. Like, that part, I've never done that out of bounds.
He had a trigger to load this part of the outpost in. He gets out to progress to the level because the game
Me está
doesn't
llevando un
detect
poco
you.
más de lo esperado. Ya corté
And
la
so he's
mitad
gonna
del
hit
puente.
this trigger to load the previous VSP in, and he's gonna load the other VSP. And this is gonna cause the game to basically insta clear all the waves that were supposed to come in if you were to play casually. And he hits it at a specific time so that once that second spirit that you see, once it spawns in, if he hits the trigger too early, then when the spirit spawns in, the enemies in the spirit will spawn in as well, and you would have to waste time killing them. So it's faster just to deload them by hitting the trigger at a certain time rather than to just manually kill them. But even if you hit it early, their AI turn off, so they don't shoot at you or anything. They're harmless, but you still have to waste time killing him.
Yeah. Was he shooting cat just for style points or?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. There's no way to make that dialogue faster, or is it just like what's the trigger for closing the door? Killing X amount of enemies in the last wave, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a door that he just ran through. Oh, this is me playing, by the way. But yeah. There's a door that the hitbox itself is there, but the door is not there, if that makes any sense. The hitbox is still there, but he throws the 3 grenades just to deload it faster.
Flush him out. I've got you covered.
Yeah, that was
That
not
was
slow.
winter. Yep.
Did you guys check how much faster you guys did some levels like compared to the IO times or something?
The slowest IO here is Tots, which is tip of the spear, which is slower than the IOs because it was extremely sloppy, of course, but I tried.
Spartans, hostiles north.
Yeah, it's the thought that matters.
This is a risky strat that we do in IOs. You want to make it fast, but not too fast, so that you can have time for the enemies to drop off from the Phantom. And once they're dropped off, you get to target locate them and kill them as well with the airstrike.
I can't believe you survived those Jackal skirmishers on one red bar. They didn't hit you.
Limited, but we'll prioritize whatever you need, ma'am.
Noble to sword control. Contact.
The pistol is also essential
Head to the main gate to the east.
for this certain little trick, not trick, but like strategy. Because we normally do this on easy, but on legendary it's very risky because it's very low consistency.
Yeah, that must have taken a few resets.
As well.
Yeah.
Picking up a power source. We're close to the AA gun. That's the gun over there. Should be a reset control somewhere when it's online. At Phoenix 6, AA gun is online.
Nice work, Spartans. Head to Farragut Station and get that comms array up and running.
Hope that comms array has a working generator. Let's search the area for a generator.
Oh yeah, a quick thing. This is on legendary, by the way. All this is done on legendary.
Okay, generator is up and running.
I forgot to mention that.
Comms array. Should
But
be up high.
Engaging multiple enemies.
all the buttons that we hit in this level have a huge hitbox that they stretch to the other side of the wall or floor, and so we just hit them through the floor rather than just wasting time going around the little corners and such.
Or is it slow?
What's up?
Walking upstairs. That's just
Yeah.
slow.
Yeah, so you just hit it through the
Good work,
ceiling.
Spartans. Return to Sword Base. The rest of your team is inbound, imminent.
This is also very risky. We do this on easy, but on legendary it's a lot quicker.
Oh, that was a good launch too. So you got off that area.
Over.
I stunned the elite there because into the airstrike, because every single time I try to fight the hunters on my own, he would always chase after me and he would always kill me. And normally we use rockets against these guys, but I used a shotgun, which is traditionally done on easy again compared to legendary.
Yeah, that's probably gonna be a theme in this one. Doing basically easy strats but on legendary.
Yeah.
How's that?
Over here.
6, head upstairs and assist Emil. George,
Yeah,
make sure
this
she
is
gets there.
deceptively
Depend
hard.
on it.
Theoretically, you could deload all these enemies, but it's very hard.
How would you do it? I never heard of that.
You can deload these guys by overloading the level.
Oh
Um,
yeah. Okay, yeah.
What's it called? You go the casual way or normal way that people usually go up instead of concussion. So you hit all the triggers to spawn in all the enemies and live. And make sure they all live until you hit the very last trigger for this ending. And the game doesn't have enough like memory to spawn in more enemies, so the game just doesn't spawn them in.
Yeah, and then level 3 birds.
Noble team, all swords are inbound and ready to push. Orbital defense is standing by to take the shot.
Reconocimiento, Bravo. La vigilancia
And
electrónica está
this is
bloqueada más
Nightfall.
adelante.
Pedro did this level.
Covenant bloquea nuestros instrumentos.
Eso parece. Y el mando quiere saber qué está
Do you
ocultando.
remember if
Un élite.
he did
Escucho.
the
He
word
tied it.
He tied it? Okay.
Yeah. When I did it, I
It's
was
an
4
insane
seconds
record.
off. Yeah,
Reconocimiento
that
Bravo
record
Noble
is
2.
extremely
Tengo
hard to
informe de
beat.
contactos.
Adelante. Cambio.
Hemos detectado varios enemigos
Yeah, and if you do
patrullando
that,
un
then
asentamiento.
Monkey is
Es lo
just
que
gonna come out of
buscábamos,
retirement and beat
Negativo.
you.
Demasiado pequeño. Aún no
It's
están en la zona
insane
oscura.
though.
Ataquen a
Optimize this
discreción,
level
pero
so
sigan
hard.
avanzando.
Ese es mío.
I mean, this and Keys on CE, these are like the two most optimized levels, I think.
Esto acaba de ponerse interesante. Es mío. Tranquilos, tengo una bala para cada uno.
That's clean.
If you're asking why he got a boost there and he didn't die, it's because he got checkpoint immunity, because that's a thing in this game.
Disparos.
Oh.
Armas de
So if you get a checkpoint for like, I think about
Noble 2, estamos en una
4
especie de estación de bombeo.
seconds,
Veo
you
civiles.
get
Veo que más
invincibility,
milicia local. Están atacando al enemigo.
Ayúdenlos. Podrían tener
but
información.
not invincibility against like shots and stuff. Invincibility pertaining to like getting spotted by a vehicle or
Cabrones no se acaban nunca.
stuff like that, where Guta just hits you and just pushes you instead of just killing you.
Reconocimiento Bravo a Noble 2. Hemos perdido a los civiles. Una nave de
I'm trying to
descenso Covenant.
think
A cubierto.
if there's any place you could do that to get a boost from like hunters or something, but I don't know if that would work. Or if there even is a place where that might, you know, be useful.
Kat, ¿estás viendo esto?
Avery?
Una estructura Covenant. Una especie de gran torre.
Yeah, checkpoint. Invincibility thing.
Bien. Dala por destruida.
Negativo. Póngale una carga
I think
de
it's
detonación
only
remota.
when you
El
trigger
mando
a
planea
checkpoint.
algo gordo.
When you
Dice que
trigger
la
a
torre
checkpoint
caerá al amanecer.
and you revert, the effect
Hay
still
una entrada al
stays.
sureste de la...
Oh.
Recibido.
So you
Estoy
can
enviando
revert as
sus
much times as
códigos.
you want and you get invisibility for 4 seconds.
Me están disparando.
As long as you have a checkpoint. Once the checkpoint fades after 4 seconds, then you get damaged by vehicles and such. I guess the little things like that that people don't know, and sometimes it benefits us like that, and sometimes it saves us. Let's say you were fighting against an enemy in a vehicle and you get a checkpoint right before he tries to splatter you. He'll simply push you instead of splattering you, because you're immune to
I can't believe I
vehicle
didn't know
damage.
about that. You know, with how much I've played Reach, but
Yeah.
wow.
And it also the same goes for enemies. If you get a checkpoint right before you spider an enemy, in like a ghost, let's say, you'll just push him, not spider him. This concussion rifle is very important. So
Again, like, can't believe you survived that.
Be advised, Pony has ID'd 2 hostile anti-aircraft guns southwest of your location.
Copy, Commander.
So yeah, these stuff is like you normally won't see in a full game.
Oh yeah, 'cause I think you normally shoot the turret, the warthog gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here I got a checkpoint. 4 seconds later, I get spidered by this revenant, but it doesn't affect me because I live. I was supposed to die there.
Yeah, yeah.
And you can simply raise the revenant with this raw power to just climb the cliff instead of going around and going up the slope.
Normally you have a ghost there, which is
Yeah.
what?
Copy 2 Lima 4
Yeah.
bombing run heading 224.6 permission granted out.
Ghost has more mobility than the Warhawk.
Noble 6, there's a mining facility near your location. Covenant are using it as a
I wonder if you did anything cool here, or if it's just like the iron strength. Okay, that was cool. Yeah.
Sadly, I don't think that saves any time.
Yeah, but swag strat.
Yeah. It's just a
gotta
big
do
cool.
it if you're segmented.
Eyes on the prize, Noble. Take out that zealot if you can.
This is the only level
Moving toward the spire.
that is slower than an IO world record in Reach, because it's a bit poorly done, but
I want you to neutralize that gun. Like,
beginning
Where
bit,
did you lose the time then?
huh?
Where'd you lose the time compared to the IL?
Wasting time to get the conch, wasting
Oh yeah.
a little bit of time on shooting a second grenade launcher at the first AA gun, grabbing the Revenant, and you can just get up to the cliff a lot faster with the Ghost in general. Remember, there's a huge launch that you could do with the Ghost and stuff, with the Revenant. All this fighting is done with the raid. Just a few shots, and
Even then, I imagine it wasn't that much lower, honestly.
I basically did the fastest as possible because it's on a timer until the Phantom that you just saw earlier, until it deloads, then you lose time if you don't kill him before the Phantom deloads.
Spotted some nasty business in the canyon on the way down.
I'll call out targets as we go.
Ah shit, I forgot to time this again. I've been meaning to time this run for a while, and I just haven't been able to do it. Damn it. Well, we're 25 minutes in. But that's for the whole recording.
Yeah, and you had no black too. Or whatever
Yeah.
the first cutscene that was called.
Yeah. So minus like 3 minutes.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Nice shooting, Spartans.
Stay sharp, sis.
But this is definitely a sub 120.
It's insane.
Might be a 117. Ha!
Solid copy. Dot.
Latest intel suggests these spies may be projecting electromagnetic filter shields.
Priority 1, pilot. Gotta know what's in there.
Affirmative, sir. Here we go.
Looks like we'll
Commander.
Okay, I'm really
eyes on the
curious
spy.
to see
Looks
what
like
to
a
do
staging
here.
area.
Or is it just like the normal strats?
I'm under fire.
You'll see.
Because like, I imagine there must be a ton of different ways to get up that spire.
Noble 5 only believes those spies
By the way,
have
this is the
teleportation
fixed version.
abilities.
When I was streaming it on Halo Run's channel,
Frigate Grafton is on station, ready to
we
kill
had
the
an
spy.
editing error and we
Power down in
got a
the shield.
segment where I just reverted
6. I'll hold these
accidentally,
close. You'll find a way to
but
top
it was
the
still
spy.
pretty quick.
Okay, so the Banshee is not scripted in any way, right?
We manipulated it to lure towards you so you could hijack it, but yeah.
But
We
is that
just-
like full game viable?
no.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that's
what
like
I thought.
that's like a. It's not that common. I would
Yeah.
say you get it 3% of the time. Maybe
Yeah.
even 2. But 98% you don't get that type of RNG. Oh, not a Solus. We can't skip any of the cutscenes here because the game doesn't let us, and so we just
Copy that,
added it.
Commander.
Move up the beach, Noble.
I think Bungie put this level in just like as a tribute to Halo 2 and auto-scrollers.
Oh yeah, true. And it's also an E3 level. This was showcased at E3.
Yeah. You know if that's the reason they, you know,
Yeah, they kept
actually
it.
can't- Yeah. So stupid.
More hostiles. In the room to the
I guess
south.
it's kind of cool in a way, you know, seeing
Yeah.
how complete Reach was already at E3 compared to like Halo 2 back in the day.
Taking rounds.
When they realized, oh yeah, we can't ship this. Like this engine itself has to be just redone because of the Xbox. Oh, holiness.
Still can't believe Holland said yes to this.
Alright, and guys, don't forget about the weapons.
Let's get that saber airborne before he changes his mind.
These weapons are important for
Right through that
the
door,
fighting.
Commander.
There you're gonna see. Like, how long? Like 5
Again,
minutes?
surviving on 1 bar. Wow.
Yep.
And like the elite was still shooting at you. And they had 1 bar.
Yeah, I got very lucky.
Door 6. Get to the saber before the Covenant wreck.
Again, that's a theme in segmented runs.
Yeah,
I
it
think,
seems
like,
like you
every-
can't survive that, but it's like, what? You survived that?
Yeah, yeah. I think in the start of every like Halo CE segmented run that's been, you know, posted on YouTube and stuff, there's always someone commenting on like the fact that one of the themes in segmented runs in Halos is just the fact that if you try and run through a hallway packed full of enemies and you do it 1,000 times, one of those times you're gonna be really fast and lucky and just survive it.
Yeah. And now everyone does that on POA for CE. It's pretty
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, it is.
Just
Plus,
runs through.
it first segmented that I think Skirty and Slinky did on the original Xbox, which was kind of cool. They had a trick DOA, which actually loses a second or something like that, where they basically use the cryo to bump you into the roof.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a really cool trick, but I don't know. I think they made up that second of time loss in the segmented run somewhere in there though.
I don't know. It just looks cool. They should have added it in anyways.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna get something to eat too.
Yeah, I'm gonna put my dishes away real quick.
Copy actual. Colonel Holland. Affirmative, Double 5. Welcome to Operation Uppercut. I'll be your control from here on out. Understood, Colonel. Double 6, these sabers have been customized for orbital defense. You may need to get reacquainted. Rendezvous at Anchor 9 with Frigate Savannah and the other sabers as soon as you're ready. Holland out. Unidentified contacts.
Savannah actual to Saber teams. Be advised, we have bogeys inbound.
Anchor 9 to all UNSC ships. Station defenses are down. Requesting combat support until we can bring them back online. Here we go, 6. Show them what you can do.
Segmented clip into Anchor 9, the new strats. I gotta say, this part, the fighting, is surprisingly difficult just because, like I've tried to do this fast and all, but it's just really hard to kind of figure out where you are in space. Like there is a bunch of debris and all, but it's really hard to kind of like visualize the spawns.
I'm back.
Like the first set of spawns is easy because you got that marker thing, but like the Banshees on the bottom right there.
Defensive batteries at 79%. Buy us another minute, Saber teams.
That's how it's done.
Anchor 9 to all craft in the Pacific.
Spatial awareness. Really? No pun intended at all.
Anchor 9 to all UNSC ships. Station defenses are back online. Clear the lane. Light them up.
Nice heads.
This was probably really difficult to segment this fight.
Yeah.
Anchor 9 to Saber teams. Phantoms are inbound. Vector
Again,
7
this is like, oh, how did you survive that?
I don't know. To be honest with you, I kept on dying so much.
I think that was like the most impressive, you know, segmented survival.
You know, with the spazzing Seraph as well.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Weapons free.
Like I can, some of the parts where I've said, oh yeah, I can't believe you actually survived that one bar and all. Like, it's not that surprising when you consider that like that's just bound to happen, but what happened right there, like I can't believe you didn't die.
Anchor 9 to UNSC ships. All targets neutralized.
It's just enemies missing shots. It's a bit different in the Banshee fight right here.
Holland to Bravo 029er. Noble 5, you ready to go?
Wow. Okay, second part of the cutscene. I gotta get
I'm out here, 6.
my food out of the microwave.
I need your override.
Utilizing the cutscenes. That's what we normally do, just use the cutscenes as break. It's like a good, like, middle of the run break. Like you do the first half, of the full game, and then cutscene. I believe all the cutscenes in Long Night of Solus, the unskippable ones, there are 4 minutes and 18 seconds.
Noble 5, please repeat.
Pull up surface grid 19 by 22.
So you have 4 minutes and 18 seconds of cutscene.
Thermal enhance.
Gives you a quick break.
Noble 5, your pulse is elevated. There is nothing you can do for Dr. Woolsey and the others inside Sword Base. The mathematics are determinate. Noble 5?
I know.
Bravo, United cleared to re-engage thrusters. Noble 6, this is Holland.
Go ahead, Colonel.
We've flagged a Corvette-class vessel.
Yeah, exactly. Goat rope. T-break.
Get our makeshift bomb on that Corvette, and we have our delivery system. Noble 5 will escort the bomb. I need your Saber team to clear the way for boarding.
Understood, Colonel.
As she's already donated her slip space drive to the cause, Savannah will be joining you to provide local fire support. UNSC Savannah. Our wings may be clipped, but we've got your back. I've stuck my neck out for Noble on this one, Lieutenant.
We'll get it done, Colonel. 6 out.
Yeah, was it Ice-T that Goat Rope always used to get?
I'm not sure.
Because I think I remember like someone talking about that in a GDQ run.
We have visual.
Yeah.
Target confirmed.
4 minutes and 15 seconds. That's like almost 2 armories.
Frigate Savannah in position. Saber team, sound off. Echo 1, all systems nominal. Echo 2, good to go. Echo 3. Echo 4, all systems online. Solid copy. We are currently jamming the Corvette's comms. Hit it hard.
All this is just pure combat. Like, the combat in Reach is just insanely optimized. There's not much tricks. I mean, there's a few tricks in the run, but
See if we can slow her down. Noble 6, I'm marking targets. Take out the Corvette's main engines.
1 in a million. Heads up, Sabers. Multiple impulse drive signatures detected. More bogies incoming. Echo 2 to Savannah Actual. Where are the reinforcements coming from? I thought the target was jammed. Must be squadrons coming back from patrol, Echo 2.
which is really good. Before the dialogue, or after the dialogue ended, right now, these 3 Ceros basically ran into Savannah and they all died, seemingly at the same time. So that basically left me with just a few shots at them and they just die.
That's insane.
It's stuff like that that made it into the cut. And you remember the weapons? I cleared this whole room with 3 rockets. That last shot was a triple kill.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay, yeah. Wow. That was quick.
You know it's fast when the dialogue is still going. You just have to wait until it ends.
Colonel, on our way to the hangar. Noble 5, meet him there. Affirmative. On approach.
Legendary is easy.
6, go for those shield controls. I need in.
That segment was so hard.
Noble 6, get that Corvette moving toward the supercarrier. Head for the bridge. Find the nav controls.
Got plenty of arms and ammo.
Nailed that one.
Savannah to Holland, sustaining major structural damage. We need to break off, Colonel.
Copy, Savannah. Our team is in. Disengage.
Break off! Break off! Hull breach! Reactor's flaring! Damn it, I'm losing her!
Looks like the bridge, but let's clear it out. Savannah Actual, can you hear me? Frigate's gone, 6. Nothing we could do. Noble, you're in deep with no cover.
That was almost a reset right there.
Get the hell out of there.
Needle rifle's OP, man.
Yeah, it is. Just the needle rifle has one of those things in Reach where, like, I remember you can fire it if you just like hold the trigger down.
Yeah.
Isn't it like faster or more accurate?
No, it's less
Same
accurate.
speed? Less accurate. Yeah, well, when you hold the trigger down,
Yeah.
does it fire faster?
It debatable, I guess. If you hit the trigger fast enough, the same speed as if it was just holding it down.
Wow, George being a team player right there.
Taking the elite shot, shield.
That looked kind of funny, the lead.
Yeah.
Running at the door. When it was already open, they were just running in place. Wow, this is a good hanger.
This on that Asolos, I believe it's 2 minutes faster than the IO.
It's kind of weird, you know. Like, yeah, there have been a bunch of points where, like, if this wasn't a segmented run, I did assume that you were gonna die. But, like, I guess it just like shows how much the combat can be improved and how like insane RNG can just save you time, like the space fight like that.
Yeah. And this run
There wasn't
proves
any
it.
like really flashy big trick.
It's just raw combat optimization.
Yeah.
I mean, there's shortcuts and stuff. But not much. I mean, there are out of bounds tricks at like every single level, but they're not useful in a speedrun, unfortunately. Except for like, yeah, except for one, which is winter.
I'm kind of sad that the Falcon Paladin strats on tip of the spear doesn't actually save time.
Yeah,
looks so
it's
good.
slower.
Yeah.
Takes a lot of time to set up. And normally in full game, in Exodus, we get a needler to help us out with the fighting against the brutes. But Pedro doesn't pick it up because it wastes time, so he just YOLOs everything with a pistol and nades that are conveniently placed throughout this first part of the level.
Yeah, he made that look consistent.
He waits here so that he doesn't die. And these jackals can be so annoying sometimes.
And Jackals are pretty much the most annoying enemy in all of Halo. And again, just like one red, he's getting shot from everywhere.
I want to highlight a little thing that people usually overlook is that the reason why he went against the elevator after he picked up the health pack is to press the elevator button. That, like I said back in Oni, that the buttons have an extended hitbox that it goes through the wall, and so you can just hit it through the wall, and when you clear out all the enemies in this area, it would just teleport you into the elevator, so that he doesn't have to waste time running all the way back up towards the elevator and getting inside manually. He'll just be teleported in after he kills a certain amount of enemies. And with this hardcore sniping too, this is like very optimized. It's really crazy. A needler tears brutes apart if they don't armor lock. If you don't give them a chance to armor lock. And the gravity hammer is the main focus in this level too, because normally we don't pick up the gravity hammer, but Pedro's a crazy person and he's gonna use some insane gravity hammer tricks that are normally known for Halo 3, but you can still do it in Reach. Yeah, and ODST. But you can probably guess why he picked up the hammer.
Yeah, plus it helps with like you can go higher up in the jetpack to boost yourself with like an aid and a gravity hammer. But I don't know how useful that would be anymore. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And normally there's brutes that spawn in front of him, but he went high enough so that he doesn't hit a certain trigger that spawns those brutes, so he just gets a free pass. Normally in full game we go underneath the whole level to ignore all the fighting. And yeah.
Yeah, that was cool, honestly. Like that was one of the best box launches I've ever seen. Yeah, that's the hammer boosting jetpack. Wow, what a stupid gun, it bounces off the walls and stuff.
This is the cleanest helipad clear I've ever witnessed.
Yeah, that was quick.
La ciudad lleva 5 días asediada. Creíamos tenerlo todo bajo control, hasta que aparecieron las corbetas. Nuestra flota se ha dispersado al retirarse. Diablos, tenemos órdenes de evacuar. Supongo que a algunos no nos gusta dejar las cosas a medias.
Transporte de evacuación, Delta 1-5 a control de evacuación, listo para partir. Delta 1-5, aquí control de evacuación, recibido. Proceda a discreción. Este es su vehículo, Spartan.
El espacio aéreo sobre la ciudad es demasiado peligroso. Seguiré a otra ruta.
Delta 1-5 a control, tengo un escuadrón de Banshee atrás, nos atacan. Recibido, Delta 1-5, puede. Mayday, motor de vapor tocado. Nos caemos, intentaré aterrizar. Está despejado.
Yeah, there were a few editing mistakes when we first showcased this. Yeah, these Falcon rides can be a pain. In full game, you cannot, if you don't get a checkpoint during this Falcon ride, you're like the unluckiest person ever if you die after this. Because this is a waste of like 3 minutes.
Yeah, but what can even kill you, like banshees?
Yeah, banshees, a couple brutes that were necessary to kill.
Yeah.
They can still shoot at you. Like those banshees were so close to banshee bombing Pedro.
Oh yeah.
Hijo de puta. No puedo mirar.
Fox actual, enviamos pájaros de búsqueda y rescate. Negativo, control. Es inútil.
I imagine he's gonna make this area look real. You know, survive in some ridiculous way.
Oh, did you forget he still has the hammer?
Oh yeah, I did forget.
He still
that.
has the hammer.
Oh,
Guess what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
Guess what's gonna happen?
I can only imagine.
Esa corbeta lleva demasiado tiempo azotando. Reviéntale, Spartan.
Soldados, vamos a echar a esos monstruos de la playa.
Oh, he didn't even shoot the sergeant dude right there.
Transporte civil 7 Eco 3 a Fox actual. Mis motores están listos. Recibido 7 Eco 3.
Oh,
Estamos en eso.
jetpacks and box launching.
Esa es la primera batería de misiles, teniente.
Name a more
Bárbara.
iconic duo. I mean, wow.
Primera batería en línea. La otra está al norte.
The reason why he overshot it is because every single time he would actually make it perfectly, he would always die by the brutes.
Yeah,
So
that's all in one second too. Oh, the third one? Oh.
Sargento Mayor, el Covenant está a punto de entrar. Cuidado, Eco 3. La corbeta sigue ahí arriba. Misiles defensivos activados. Los transportes de evacuación pueden despegar.
and that was Exodus.
That was really fun to watch. I enjoyed that. Tower to tower in reach completed.
That'd be crazy.
Vuelve a ponerte las alas, teniente. Vas a pilotar este Falcon.
That was 1 minute faster than the IO world record.
That's really
El Covenant
fast.
tiene inhibidores de comunicaciones en los rascacielos. Cuando los
Considering
localices,
like
tendrás que destruirlos.
how many minutes is the Falcon ride? Like 2 minutes?
2.
3?
Espera 6.
Yeah, 2 minutes.
Uno de
2 to
nuestros
3,
pelotones quedó
maybe.
silenciado
Yeah.
después del ataque
I can't
al
remember.
hospital. Te marcaré la ubicación. Completa su misión
Yeah,
y
but like
deshazte
if
del
so
inhibidor.
much of the level is just an autoscroller, like
Yeah.
1 minute. That's box launching for you, man.
Aguanta, teniente. Un Falcon va en camino.
This NA is in fact, I think 10-20 seconds faster than the IO. Because it has a better RNG. Hey Kronos, how are you?
It's pretty noisy.
I'm restreaming God damn. Who's dying in the background?
Noble 2 a Noble 6. Veo que el
Whisky 39, solicito ayuda inmediata.
Recibido 3-9, adelante.
Tengo a varios evacuados, pero estamos rodeados por torretas Shade de largo alcance.
Recibido 3-9. Teniente, ve al punto de destino y elimina las torretas Shade.
But yeah, I want to talk about NA for a bit, if you guys don't know. It's 3 main objectives and 2 side objectives.
Parece despejado, Spartan. Muchas gracias.
They're all random. and if you get it just right, you can. All you have to do is just worry or not worry about fuck the objective as a side quest, or not side quest, side mission. Because there's $3. 1 out of 3 is really good. Well, not really good, but like decent. Because the buck mission requires you to escort a falcon across this whole New Alexandria map, and it's just a waste of time just escorting him. And all this is about dialogue memorization and knowing what to do at certain side missions. And all these main objectives are random. The preferred order that you want them is this order, basically. Hospital.
Wait, isn't the hospital always first?
No, it's always first on easy.
Oh, okay.
On
Yeah.
legendary, it's all random. But this is the thing that Pedro happened to happen to him one time, and he skipped an objective by flying to it already at the spot where the objective is supposed to be, which is a mobile jammer, and he just flies up to it at the top, and once he beats the phantom, it just says good job 6, or in Spanish it says, yeah, it says that. So he just completed a side mission.
Say it in Spanish.
Yeah, I literally forgot the translation. I was like, fuck. Even though Cat just said it, but I think it's like bien trabajo.
Yeah.
Sí.
Sí. Yeah, I think that's correct. That's kind of similar to
It's like good job 6.
Yeah.
Bien trabajo 6.
Yeah.
Is there a backstory to Ivory Tower? I'm not sure. I haven't played much of Halo 2 and I haven't really kept up with the story.
I don't think there is like anything more than the little flavor texts that they provide for each map in Halo 2.
Recibido, Noble 2. Nuevas órdenes. Hay que evacuar el cuartel general de la ONI. Necesito confirmación.
Confirmo la evacuación de...
Noble 2. Noble 2.
And right now, since all the missions are done, he just destroys 6 shade turrets, but 2 of them get destroyed by him destroying this phantom that carries 2 of them, so he just destroys the other 4.
Mando aquí Whisky 3-5. Veo 6 torretas Shade de largo alcance alrededor de la torre de ONI. Están haciendo la vida imposible a las naves de evacuación.
Recibido, Whisky 3-5. Noble 6, destruye las Shade pesadas. Whisky 3-5, puede proceder con la evacuación.
Recibido, Mando. Muchas gracias.
Noble 6, neutraliza las otras Shade para nuestros pájaros de evacuación. Whisky 3-6, puede proceder con la evacuación.
Recibido, Mando. Recibido, Mando. Gracias por la ayuda.
Noble 6, eres una joya de Spartan. Voy a extender la plataforma de aterrizaje. De nuevo en casa, teniente.
That was New Alexandria, done by Pedro. Now this is Package, done by me.
Oh, I thought Pedro would have done it.
He always says that I'm better that package sent him.
I guess
So he wanted me to do it.
Associate Pedro with package. Seems like one of the first times I heard of him was him and the package red key.
Also, I forgot to mention that that ghost doesn't always spawn there. It's a bit random on the placements, but that is the fastest to get to the tank, which is hijacking the closest ghost position towards you and boosting towards the tank. You can do this part without the tank, but it's just slower in general, and the tank is just clears everything much faster. Even though it has a bad reticle and stuff, but I guess if you know how to use it, you can go fast. And about 7 shots for each AA turret destroys the objectives. But I wanted to pause for a bit and destroy that ghost so that he doesn't damage me anymore.
Yeah, I guess that makes the next part a bit easier.
Yeah, definitely with full health. This little lineup here that I do on this little hill is to destroy a shade turret that actually matters when opening the gate of Oni sword base. And that second shot is to, yes, just what I said, that's the second shade.
Oh, I didn't even know that those ghosts were there.
Yeah, they're always there.
Oh, is the location of the shade turrets random too? Because I remember, or I may have missed who shooting the fuel rod one.
Gates open, boss. 6, get over here. Cubbies all over the base. Just in time, 6. Kill them all, Noble.
Hey Two-Tide, thank you for the host.
Tango, coming from the pad. What? Double time at 6, come on.
When people said that when they were doing reach, package was like one of the levels that they took hours on, and so I'm just here doing it like in like 12 minutes, maybe even less than that.
Please proceed to the pre-arranged coordinates. You know as much as I do, Noble 4.
That there is a statue jump, and again I live with 1 bar. 1 red bar.
Let's find Halsey's lab. Move.
Wow,
Commander,
that was so
unseen
fast the
turrets already
cutscene
in
even doesn't
defensive
know what to do.
positions.
Only was expecting company.
All you have to do is
Sure
just
as hell got it.
to skip cutscenes is just hold A and Y before they appear. They
Spartans, you cannot allow the
Yeah,
They
Covenant to
but
break through the
cut
door to
off
my
one
lab.
they
time.
Understood.
I think there were some
Let's give the
really
doctor the
weird
time she
graphical glitches in the cutscenes.
Oh yeah, I believe that's the emulator in
Oh,
Xbox One.
oh yeah, yeah.
When the turrets take
In
too much damage,
368,
they'll shut down and
you don't get
recharge.
those.
You'll need to reactivate them when they come back online.
Noble 6, activate the turret and set up a perimeter.
Yeah, all this fighting, half of it's done with the Banshee and half of it's done with the Wraith. So you're gonna see some more optimized fighting by me. I hold the record for this IO, by the way,
They're landing out of range. Across the bridge.
on Legendary.
I need more time. Whatever you have to do, do it.
and just splatter everyone.
Yeah, just like matchmaking.
The Breach Banshee is so overpowered in multiplayer.
Yeah, it is. If you like really know how to use it.
It's just that people just don't shoot at it. If everyone on one team and big team or something, if everyone on one team just shoots at it with the DMR, it's dead within like seconds.
Yeah. I think like vehicles in Reach in general just like get melted.
Yeah, they
Shoot
have
at 'em.
easy weaknesses. It's just that no one just utilizes, or no one just knows how to deal with it, really. And this is on a timer, so it's okay if my shots were a bit messy on that elite. Like, in order for the next wave to just spawn in, is to wait for all the phantoms to deload. And I use this Banshee just to like overlook the area to see if I miss any enemies, because when I was segmenting this, I was like waiting there for a bit.
Hold on, Spartans. I'm getting close.
I believe I destroy 4 phantoms on this level to try and push the level to its limits. If I had more resources, then I would have probably destroyed like 1 more extra, but I'm not sure if I do, or have the time rather. Because the more phantoms you destroy, the faster this level goes. Because this is basically an auto-scroller if you kill all the waves instantly. You have to wait for the phantoms to just drive away and disappear.
I imagine those jetpack leads cost a bunch. Oh, okay.
That ghost.
Yeah, that was interesting physics.
Yeah, it's a geometry launch. It happens in like games that were made before 2010 as well. If like collision with hitboxes, if the game detects something like that is not supposed to like intersect, it pushes the object out, and that's how the game just treats it. It just pushes it out.
Yeah, just like the bumps in
Yeah.
CE.
It happens
Package
with
one of the
covenants.
level-
Covenant vehicles commonly for geometry launch. And I'm sorry?
Yeah, is package one of the levels that can go like really fast on co-op? If you just like destroy all the phantoms.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh. Imagine a 4-player segmented co-op run.
That'd be pretty crazy. But I don't think we have enough Banshees to accommodate for everyone at this very
Yeah,
end.
but if you could do some like laser and rocket strats or something.
The package is almost ready.
Or fuel rod. You
like
can
the storm.
carry the fuel rod from the beginning of the levels to
Yeah.
the end to help out with destroying it. Because I believe it's 3 mags with fuel rod destroys 1 phantom. So if everyone does that, that would be pretty lit.
Yeah.
And this is the only important phantom that we destroy because it ends the level. We have to destroy all the enemies that come out of this one phantom, and We destroy it by destroying the Phantom. Or we clear it by destroying the Phantom, I'm sorry. And I pick up the plasma rifle just for fun.
Well done, Spartans. I'm opening the laboratory door.
And now POA
By Pedro
by Pedro Gas, yeah. POA is done in 9 minutes and 30 something seconds.
That's fast.
Something like that. And it's 1 minute faster than the IO record on Legendary.
Okay, I really want to see the start.
Agáchense. Atraeré su atención. Ocúpense de entregar ese paquete.
Normally in full game we grab the
Ese es nuestro
con,
destino, 6.
but
El Pillar of Honor.
obviously segmented is not going to be
De hecho,
able,
la carrera.
or not doing that.
Because
that's slow.
Jump.
Tenemos transporte.
Yeah, that was really fast.
Scarab, no ataques. Pisa fondo, 6.
This is just smooth driving.
Saca el paquete de aquí.
The rocket's going to be useful later, or at the very end of the mission.
Smooth driving in reach. Also one of those deceptively difficult things.
Yeah, normally these mongooses can flip 1,000 times.
Yeah, they're really bouncy. Especially when driving like off-road.
El puente está destruido. Hay que saltarlo, 6.
Oh, and right here you have to wait.
Yeah, he had to brake just enough so that all the shots were inaccurate on him, but he was still be able to make it up.
Por el lado suroeste.
It's like not too slow but not too fast type of thing.
Yeah, you gotta hit that perfect joke.
Todavía tengo más.
Did the grunt right there explode for like the same reason as in that one
In
part in
Exodus? Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly the same reason. By the way, that's rock jump. You jump on a certain pixel up, and that is actually fairly easy to do. That skips the trigger for the drone, so you don't have to face them in this part of the level.
Spartan, por aquí.
I guess it also skips the jackals.
Aquí el Capitán Keys, del Pillar of Honor. Les estamos
There's
siguiendo,
like
Noble.
Yeah.
Hemos
two
iniciado
or
la secuencia de
three
despegue. Vaya
skirmishes
al
right there
DK6 con
normally.
plataforma D.
Yeah, it skips them
Allí
as
para
well.
recibir el paquete. Eso espero, soldado.
Normally we go on the right side and ignore all this fighting, so we're safe. But segmented obviously doesn't do that. Again, just does risky shit.
De momento. Evaluación. Tienen las instalaciones cubiertas desde
What
todos los
were
ángulos.
those
Empezaremos
two
fuego
shots
de
about?
Vayan por el flanco.
Like, was he
Tiene que
trying
haber
to
un camino.
alert the enemies so the turrets look
Lo
at you faster?
encontraremos.
Yeah.
Manténgalos ocupados.
Yeah.
Eso haremos.
So their heads could be shown, I think. Because if they're not looking at you, it's very annoying to hit them from the
Yeah.
sides. Because they're covered. All this is YOLO. 'Cause normally we would jump over onto a catwalk with the conch and skip the trigger for the hunters in this section. But since Pedro has a plasma, he throws a plasma at the Phantom, and the grunts on the turrets don't shoot him because the plasma causes them to basically get off of the turrets and make them get destroyed. And he just runs past the hunters. When normally in full game we just skip the triggers so we don't have to deal with them, so it's a lot safer. And he also yellows this part as well. It's okay if he missed a few shots because the jackals need to be in like a position that is fairly close to you in the beginning, but once he runs past them, they don't chase him. They're in the middle of chasing him, they're not in the middle of shooting at him. They have to like keep up with him in order to try and shoot at him. And so that's why they stop shooting.
Yeah, because the shield tackles basically have to have their shield up.
Yeah.
Yeah, or they can't run and shoot at the same time.
And this is where the rocket comes into play. He hits a checkpoint that he gets no matter what you're doing. It's a checkpoint that you cannot delay whatsoever, no matter if you're jumping, meleeing, or anything. You get that checkpoint no matter what.
Ha llegado el momento. Yo me ocupo del cañón. Tú ve a la plataforma y entrega el paquete. Estoy en posición. Acabaré con todas las naves de descenso que pueda. Manténlos a raya hasta que llegue aquí.
Yeah, he's just destroying POA.
And this is something that we get on easy. It's called key skip. I don't know why, but or early keys. Because normally the game, in the same situation along that Assault, the game thinks that it cleared everyone out, so it just triggers the remaining parts of the level. And it's okay if he misses snipes there. He just has to destroy a chieftain and a root and he gets early keys. So now he just has to wait for keys to drop by. He doesn't have to kill the last phantom guys.
Why don't you call this drop skip? It'd be so much better.
Because you technically don't skip the drop ship. It's still there.
Yeah,
it's still there, but it's just a bit hard to live.
Aquí, acercándonos a la plataforma Delta.
And now he just has to run up to the Mac cannon and end the level.
Is there a cutscene trigger of just being like close enough to the Pelican? Or does the Pelican actually like have to get close enough to the platform while you're there?
Yeah, the Pelican has to be near the helipad.
Yeah, otherwise you could have done some really cool launch to like the Pelican.
Yeah, that would be cool. I don't think that's possible though.
Yeah.
You know, this is on a timer. He hit the trigger that was on the stairs, so now he's just waiting for the Corvette to be in position to destroy it. He's just having fun right now. I like how he gets EMP'd when he's on red bar too. He doesn't die. That's the weird thing about Legendary, dude. This game is a bit forgiving, but at the same time not forgiving. And he's using my lineup to know when to get on the thing. And that was Reach, basically. That was just the
Oh,
last
you didn't
cutscene.
do Lone Wolf?
No, we did do Lone Wolf. We added in the
Nice.
cutscene. I don't do anything special. It's just a cutscene that was added.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was quick.
Yep. All that was an hour and 21 minutes, dude. Already.
Yeah, did you count Noble Actual in that? Are you just like looking at the uptime or something?
Yeah, I'm including Nova Actual in it. If we included Nova
Okay,
Actual, that's definitely sub 120.
yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
It didn't take long for Reach to fall. Our enemy was ruthless, efficient, but they weren't nearly fast enough. For you had already passed the torch, and because of you, we found Halo, unlocked its secrets, shattered our enemy's resolve. Our victory, your victory, was so close. I wish you could have lived to see it. But you belong to Reach. Your body, your armor, all burned and turned to glass. Everything. Except your courage. That you gave to us. And with it, we can rebuild.
Well then, thank you for watching. I'll just put this here.